I'm live. Say hello as you come in. It's been a while. Grab a cup of coffee. For those of you who don't watch my videos, my name's Cindy. I'm an urban explorer, outdoor adventurer. I do a little bit of bushcraft, a little bit of vlogging, and and I do a lot of studying. I spend a lot of time online, uh, enjoying learning different things and Googling. Oh, yeah, my notifications are just coming up there. I guess other people are uploading at the same time as me. There we go. I'm just going to give everybody, like I said, say hi as you come in. Oh, William, hi. Awesome. Do you really? Yeah, lately when I go live, I really don't know. Like today I was editing videos and I was out exploring a little bit and I was just not feeling the editing today. So I thought, I better go live, right? My viewers haven't seen me and I miss chit-chatting with them. So I'm pretty excited to see who's gonna pop in today to say hi. But awesome, William. I'm glad you made it for the live tonight. Yeah, we usually have a lot of fun. We usually have a lot of fun. It all depends on the crew, but we usually have the same crew going on. We're just go. I should have turned my notifications off. I just got back. I haven't even taken off my boots yet. Oh, Douglas is here too. Awesome. I hope we get a good crew in here tonight. We got lots to chit chat about what's been going on with me. Yeah, for the past few weeks. None of the ladies are in here yet. There we go. I'm just going to put my slippers on. Sorry, everybody. Yeah. How's the volume on my microphone? Is it too loud? Just let me know. I can turn it down a little bit if you find it just to be a little bit too loud. I was actually everybody knows that I am working to do something with my life, right? To help better my life as I move on and I've been doing my explore videos and on YouTube and that's when William comes in and he says he enjoys my videos and that's what keeps me going on my channel, right? But I really want to do so much more. Like it's such a great big world out there, and every time I'm online and I get suggested something new and it just makes me want to just do other things, right? Like already I just pivoted, but already I'm thinking, oh, maybe I want to do that. Like that looks like something I would be really good at, or something I would have lots of fun at. But how's everybody's doing tonight? Actually, I don't even know, you guys, where you're from. You should let me know where you're from because I like to see all the different places around the world where people pop into my lives. I know in some parts of the world it's like morning and sometimes it's like late at night. At my time, I always try and do it at 7 o'clock when I go lives. Yeah, but today I actually was out. I wanted to go for a walk. I try to get outside as much as I can, especially lately. I find that I just want to be outside like all the time. But I thought I'd go for a walk along the trail or on the river, but I wasn't thinking, right? The water levels are so high, they're almost coming over the banks, right? And the water's moving super, super, super fast. So yeah, that kind of killed that idea of going for a walk along the trail. And then I just decided to do some country drives and maybe find some photographs for my Instagram and I did find some really nice photos. I hope they turned out good anyway. But I just posted one on my Instagram if anybody wanted to check out my Instagram. I like to take rural photographs. I like to do the farm fields. I like to do trees. I like to do the nature, forests. I like to take photographs of my abandons. And Yeah, I really love my Instagram. I love my Twitter too. I love all three of them. I mean, YouTube is where I'm at first. I just did those other platforms because I wanted to support my YouTube channel, but yeah, now I just like to post and yeah, I've had them almost as long as I've had my YouTube channel. But yes, I love my YouTube channel the most. So who's in here with me? None of the ladies are here yet. I hope some notifications will be going out soon. People will start to pop in right away. That's what happens when I don't give notice. Sometimes I give a few hours notice and then YouTube will send notifications to everybody, right? That I'm live and then people pop in to see me, but the last couple of weeks I didn't go live on the Sundays, so yeah, that's what happens, right? So then YouTube doesn't notify the crew that I'm going live tonight. So yeah, that's what happens. Yeah. So what's going on with me? I have been working really hard at learning. I'm getting this feeling that I'm at graduation right now. Like I'm trying to decide whether or not I'm supposed to be going off to more studies or I'm supposed to go off and get a job or I'm just, I just feel like that I'm in that, oh, New Jersey. Okay. Oh yeah, actually, when I was out driving today, I was actually, William, when you say that Manitoba is something special, like in this world. Like there's not too many places that actually have true, like true wilderness still left. And Manitoba is one of those places that has true wilderness left. And I was thinking, we're so lucky that this province actually recognizes that and really takes care of it and nurtures it and encourages like the public and the people who live here and the people who visit to actually treat it the same way. So I'm certain that a couple of hundred years from now, when this whole world is so populated and so crammed in, Manitoba is going to have one of those atmospheres that everybody's just going to want to come visit because it's one of those places where you can just still find a place just for yourself, right? And I was actually thinking that today when I was driving. Actually, I was thinking, you know, how much I would like to do like a resort, not like a resort, like a retreat, right? Because we have so many different terrains here in Manitoba. Like, you have the hilly, rocky mountain areas up north, northeast, and then you have the valleys, down southwest, and then you have the prairies just south of here, and there's just so many different how do you say that, topographies, right? That you could put like little retreats and little resorts in different areas of Manitoba and call them Prairie Dodgers resorts or Prairie Dodgers retreats. Prairie Dodgers, I don't know. But that's how big I think, right? When I think, but that's like for the future and stuff, right? And it might not be, but it's always fun to plan. Hey, Carol. Oh, you okay, Alberta? There's lots of prairies. I lived in Edmonton for a few years. My husband was stationed with the Patricias with the first, and we got stationed out in Edmonton for a few years there. And then we moved back to Winnipeg. But yeah, what a clean city Edmonton is, like very, very, very clean. Yeah, that was one thing I noticed about Edmonton. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful city. Yeah, I've been very lucky in my lifetime to have been able to live in different places across Canada, right? My dad too was a bit of a nomad. He traveled. Well, Manitoba was actually the only province that he took us out of BC of, but in BC, yeah, he bought and sold properties. So I went to like 11 different elementary schools, right? So yeah, we lived all over BC. BC is absolutely beautiful too. But yeah, now it's getting busy though, right? It's hard to find a place where you don't have a plane shooting across, the sky overhead, right? It's hard to find those places. But yeah, New Jersey. I used to follow an urban explorer in New Jersey, and he used to find the most amazing places. I haven't watched his videos for a very long time, right? But yeah, he used to find some very good places for urban exploring down there. But yeah, I was very surprised when I went on my trip down to see Evan Carmichael in Minneapolis there. When I was driving down through North Dakota and Minnesota, I couldn't believe how many beautiful abandons were out there. Like, just the fields were just scattered with them, and they're really pretty too, right? Yeah. I'd like to get some more abandons this summer for photographs, for my Instagram. I noticed that I'm doing lots of landscapes in my Instagram, and I'd like to get some more of the abandons, right? I used to get lots of abandons for my Instagram. And actually, talk about Instagram, I'm thinking about using the IG. I don't know if I want to. I should be adding more platforms, right? But I think I should be everywhere. And I notice everybody's using Instagram right now, and IG would be very, very easy to shoot up 5 and 10 minute videos. Like, I could probably do that a couple of times a day and maybe build up my Instagram, and then maybe that would overflow onto my YouTube channel, right? Yeah. But I keep adding stuff and I keep adding stuff, and then I just can't keep up with the stuff that I have already. So all I'm doing is weakening, the job that I'm supposed to be doing now, right? So I don't know. Oh, do you want to hear a story? I had a strange happening go on to me. Well, I had a few strange happenings. Andrew's here. Awesome. Awesome, Andrew. I see you don't have your wrench there. What happened to your wrench? I'll give you a wrench. We're going to add a moderator there. Okay, Andrew, you're a moderator now. Yeah, you'll have to take care of all the ruffian as they pop in. Oh, but what was I going to say? Oh, you came at a good time, Andrew, because I'm just about to tell a story of something strange that happened to me this week. So I've been taking up meditating again, right? So I haven't meditated in over 30 years. It was something, me and my dad would used to go off places, and we used to sit and meditate out in nature together all the time, right? But it's been well over 30 years since I meditated, and in the past few weeks I've been taking it up. Not always succeeding. I haven't really connected. I connected really well a few times, like so well. I was so pleased, but on the most part, I'm not keeping track properly. But it's all with practice. I'll get back into the swing of things. And also, there wasn't a digital age when I was meditating. So like now I'm going online, and you can see you can get guided meditation, right? Like we never, we used to have little cassette tapes. Oh, maybe you might have even been 8-track tapes. I don't know. But yeah, with the digital age, like the choices of things that you can study. Like I've actually been studying spirituality. Like I've never been a super religious person, I've usually just relied on values for that kind of stuff, and but lately I've really been studying it, and I find it super interesting. And so I thought, because I wasn't working, and I just wanted to try and keep the stress off of myself, for a few weeks before I have to get right back into that grind again. I am manifesting. This is my piggy, everybody. This is a manifest pig. I put all my manifests inside there. When I go meditate, it comes with me, but it's nice and cold. But then you heat it up, right? And then it feels really good. And it's got a nice little bum, right? So it just feels good when you hold it in anything. But anyway, my sister hasn't been feeling well, right? So I just put a little manifest in there, just wishing my sister good health and and hoping she gets better and stuff like that. So yeah, and it's full of magic pennies. Yeah. So all that manifest energy is going into the pennies too. So they should be pretty special. But yeah. And then I have a couple other little manifests in there. But so back to my story that I was going to say. So I was meditating. I had just come out of my meditation, right? And I was sitting there, I hear things falling around in this area here, and I haven't been paying too much attention to it because things have been falling off the wall quite a bit lately. I'm attributing it to like the 3M stickers, right? They're just getting old and things are just falling off, right? So I didn't think much of it. And I just, came out of my meditation, and then I got up and I came down the hallway and I stopped in my tracks right at the kitchen entrance because sitting on my window ledge was a pigeon, like this great big monstrous pigeon with big pink eyes. And it just sat there and it stared at me and we just stared at each other for like 2 or 3 minutes. And it was just like the most incredible experience. And it just sat there, right? And I have a great big wide ledge. I usually keep like ornaments and stuff on it, but I had it pushed aside, because I like to stick my head out there and get fresh air and stuff, right? When I'm on the computer and I need a minute to get some fresh air. And I just couldn't believe it. And then it just turned around and then it just flew out the window again, right? And I said, wow, that was just like the most incredible thing ever, right? And then I went into the bathroom and I was washing up and everything. And then I came out. There was a pigeon on the back of my couch staring out my big picture window. Don't tell me that wasn't a sign. It freaked me right out. All I wanted to do was get on Google, but I had to figure out how to get this bird out of my apartment, right? So I ran to the broom closet to grab a mop or a broom, and I'm treating the pigeon like it's a parrot, right? Trying to get it to step up, trying to get it to step up onto this broom handle so I could take it to the kitchen window and get it out of the apartment, right? And then it just wasn't having any of that. So I ran to the linen closet to grab a big towel so I could throw the towel around it, maybe, grab it and then take it to the window and shoot it out the window. But yeah, I wasn't having any of that at all. I just didn't know what to do. It was pooping all over the back of my couch and everything. And then it just kind of hopped across the table and flew out the window. It just, like, you cannot tell me that was not a sign. So right away, I go on to Google, right? What does bird flying in house mean, right? Because it's got to mean something. Like, I've lived here over 30 years and I've never had a bird fly into my house. And that morning, I have 2 of them, 2 different birds in less than 5 minutes from each other in my house. It was something. So anyway, I Googled it, bird in house, and right away it said sign of death. Oh my gosh. Like, that's all I need. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? And then, of course, you're not going to take that answer. That's for sure. So I continue. I go, 2 birds in house, right? And then it said something about good luck or answer to something, right? But then I Googled 2 pigeons in house, and it actually said that it was a sign that that my guides were watching over me, right? I was watching one of the videos when I'm delving deeper into spirituality and stuff like that, and somebody said, oh, you should ask your spirit guide, and I thought, oh, I'll ask my dad, if he's around to come and watch over me, and I did something like that. And then the next thing I know, I got 2 birds. I got 2 birds in my house, right? So yeah, so it kind of freaked me right out. So now I'm looking at signs, right? So here's the funny part about that. Before the bird situation, that same meditation thing, when I came out of meditation, I looked at the clock and it was 11 minutes after 11, right? So I didn't think anything of it, right? So, but just for when I tell this story, right? So I'm looking for meanings after this bird thing. So I'm looking for other signs and other meanings because, of course, now I'm interested. I've got something to munch on, right? I'm going to learn something new, right? So I'm looking for signs, right? So I come across this sign that says 1111 and that it means something, right? But nobody's quite sure what it means, but people are saying it absolutely everywhere, right? And I'm thinking, is that ever crazy? Like I just finished meditating before these birds came out and it was 11 minutes after 11, right? And wow, that's so weird. And then I don't know why, but I looked around. Look at this, people. Look at my manifest. Now, if you guys Google, like that's the best thing about this, just to be able to Google and just ask a question and then it just leads you on to another puzzle and you just learn something. But look at the date, 11/11. Like I did this months ago. And I am the only person in the whole world that knows what's in this envelope. I haven't told anybody what's in this envelope. I just found a scrap piece of paper on my desk. I ripped up piece of paper and I just scribbled on with a felt pen or something. And I just wrote it down and then I stuffed it in there and I put it in this frame. But if this is what they're talking about, that's my ego. But 11, what a coincidence, right? Because if this were to happen, right? If we were to open this at 11/11, like a November 11th, and it actually gave it to me, my manifest actually happened, right? How would you argue with that? How could you argue with that? You just couldn't argue with that because that's been sitting on my wall. Like we are going to smash the poop out of that on November 11th. And yeah, hopefully I know before then, but and to tell you the truth, I have bigger things, right? At the time, I thought this would be a good manifest test, right? So I manifested it, and you're supposed to kind of forget about it. You can't really forget about it. It's hanging on my wall. I stare at it every day. But when that 1111 thing happened, and I started looking, and I'm going, oh my gosh, there are like signs for me absolutely everywhere. It's like I'm supposed to be paying attention to signs, I think. I don't know. Again, maybe I might be watching too many YouTube videos, but it sure is fun, and that's all it is, right? You just start with a question and then you just get led off, somewhere else, like some other totally new interest. It's just so much fun. I'm just so happy that I found this industry. I mean, maybe it will never go anywhere. Maybe it will. But it's fun. It's interesting, and I'm glad that I get to live in this age. It's too bad. There's I know for a lot of my viewers, they're not big on the internet, right? Because yeah, but there was an Article 13, it was called, right? And where in Europe now, like you can't use copyrighted materials and stuff like that. So people don't really get that freedom of being able to enjoy the internet like we do here in North America, right? So, you got to be very grateful that we get to do this, and yeah, I hope that somebody realizes along the line how important it really is that we get to do this. It's great. So, any of the ladies? Carol's here. None of the ladies are in yet. I thought for sure Nancy or Kathy. Yeah, Sharon. Yeah, Karen. Yeah, Karen for sure. So what's everybody doing tonight? And that's what you do, Andrew. Oh, Owen's here. Awesome. Yeah, party started. Owen's here. You might want, I don't know if you missed the story that I told about the pigeons. Yeah, I had a funny experience with pigeons this week. It was yeah, it's going to be one of those experiences, I'll be a little old lady and I'm actually going to remember that experience. I never, yeah, it was really kind of mystical. Yeah, it was kind of neat. But if anybody knows anything about that kind of stuff, right? Like, I don't know if any of my viewers, are spiritual that way, I'd be interested to know, because this is all very, very, very new to me, right? It's only been a couple of months now that I've been really delving in, and I tell you, I've stuffed so much in, like probably a week's worth is probably a year's worth of learning, because I'm really, yeah, I'm really getting into it. It's really interesting, and it's really funny because a lot of it is the way that I thought anyway, right? But I think it was because the way my dad had brought me up, that I had some of these traits already, right? Because, my dad had them. So he just kind of instilled them in his kids. What do you do with all those books, Andrew? Do you give them away, or do you have one of those little boxes, libraries that you sit out in the front yard? Oh no, you're at the university, aren't you? You're at the dorms. Just reading the comments here. Yeah, I've got to get down to my locker and make some room. My tent is all packed up, nice and clean, all put back to bed together like brand new. And yeah, stuffed it in a sleeping bag and it's ready to go camping. So I've actually got to look at the calendar to see what days are open for me. I'm going to try and get 3 days in, probably the first week of June. I'm going to try for the first week of June and just cross my fingers that most of the ticks are done out there. And then it's, first week of June, then we got a chance of having some really nice hot weather. And if I go in the middle of the week, then I'll have the whole lake and all the islands to myself. I'll be truly out there all by myself. And that's just the absolute best for me. Yeah, so wasn't that a funny story about those pigeons? It really got me to thinking. And then sometimes you think, you can say coincidences, and or wasn't that neat, or isn't that strange? But then when you have something so absurd, is that the word? That you how do you argue with that kind of stuff? Like, to me, that's just like magic stuff to me. Yeah. Yeah, I passed by. Was it day before yesterday? I was out for a drive, and yeah, I was hoping to get an Explorer in and everything, but yeah, I got right inside my head, right? Um, you know, again, it's back into this spirituality thing that I've been studying like lately, right? And it's really strange because I knew what I've heard the word empath. I thought I knew what an empath word was. I thought it meant the same thing as empathy, and I understand empathy as feeling for somebody, right? Like, feeling their feelings, and I always considered myself able to get in tune with people and stuff like that, right? And but you know when I was getting into these meanings and stuff, and I'm crossing by words like empath, and then I go to Google, what's an empath, right? And it was like so strange, because if you had even given me like a part of that sentence in that paragraph, like say when I was 11 or 12 years old, it would have explained so much, and I would have understood it immediately. Like, so again, I find it strange that I could have gone 57 years and not understood what an empath was. Now, yes, I can say I'm empathic, but it doesn't mean that maybe spiritually I'm empathic, because empath can happen too when you're traumatized as a kid, right? Because when you're traumatized as a kid, you get to feel things out. You learn to, watch for the kick, and, check out your surroundings. You're waiting to see what hits you next. And so you build those traits up too, right? So you become, very sensitive to your surroundings that way. But yeah, so one way or another, yeah, I'm empathic. I didn't know that at 57 years old. I discovered I was empathic. And it explains so much about why I'm always outdoors like that. It explains why, when I go to these abandoned houses, why I walk along the houses and I run my hands along the banisters and the window sills and the door handles, and why I'm trying to feel out. Are you an empath, Owen? Owen, did you know I was an empath? Like, I would like to know, of my subscribers and the people who watch, did you guys know? Like, was I so clueless as to what was going on around me? Or was some kind, like some kind of purposeful block to make it so that I couldn't realize what was going on? Like, I can't imagine that I could have gone 57 years of my life and not realize it, especially with such strong traits, like what empaths have, how they feel and stuff like that, and how they're able to feel people, and like to have those kind of traits, and then just to be absolutely clueless for 57 years. So it almost kind of ticked me off, like, because I treated those as disabilities, right? I couldn't. I worked in nightclubs for years and years, and surprisingly, working in nightclubs and being on that social front was my favorite job of all my jobs, surprisingly. And supposedly empaths aren't able to do that, but I guess because it was such a fun atmosphere, it was always a happy atmosphere, that it just rubbed off on me really well. But it was my favorite job. But what was I going to say about that? I don't know. I just couldn't believe that 57 years old and I discovered that I was an empath. Yeah. So I haven't, because I'm just learning so much. I'm just cramming, and it's just not spirituality, but it's my YouTube channel that I've been working on learning, and I've always also been I've been thinking about maybe doing, I don't know if I would be good at like maybe speaking engagements or consultation or something, So I've been thinking along those lines. Like, I've got to figure out something to bring in a living, right? Because I've got a few more days and I have got to go 100 miles an hour to do something, right? And I really want it to be in media, and I am determined for it to be that way. But yeah, I'm just trying to take in as much as I can and just try to figure out what I'm good at, right? Oh, what I'm good at. Yeah. So it's just again, lesson after lesson. I was having a lot of problems with finding my purpose, right? I've got a lot of it figured out. Like, I've got a lot of it figured out. It's all tied up in epigenetic, hard word. And if I'm going to do speaking engagements, I need to be able to see that word properly, because it'll be a big part of it. It's epigenetics. Yeah. So if anybody knows about epigenetics, it's a very interesting, hugely interesting topic. I've got a whole book now that I'm just making notes. So I'm just going to try and make myself an expert on it, which is really, really strange, because science is one of those courses I absolutely detested. Like, I just didn't have an interest in it. I really disliked it. I even remember my high school science teacher. And even though I went to 11 elementary schools, I only went to 2 high schools. And my science teacher, Mr. Rogers, and he'd go, "Syndico, come to me." And he used to say that all the time. And he was such a nice teacher, and he was so patient with me and everything. But yeah, he just couldn't catch me. Like, that subject just couldn't carry me away. I just didn't find it interesting. In fact, out of the table of elements, I think H2O is the only thing I remembered out of science. But I'm studying epigenetics, like genetics, like molecules and all types of genetics. Like I'm saving sites to my computers and yeah, I've been really studying that. So that's super interesting too. But let's see what people are saying about being empathic. You know, Andrew, just from our conversations over the years, I would say for sure, you know, if you were to Google just like, or am I empathic? If you were to Google that, you would get so many interesting videos that would tell you if you are. Like I just watched a few videos and I was absolutely shocked. I thought empathy and empath were the same thing. I thought they were exactly the same thing. No, William, I didn't go to that church that I did that house, that spring cleaning for. And I was invited to go to a function at the it was like a fall get together that they were having, and I did get invited, but I didn't go. But I remembered that it was the third week in September, so maybe this September I will go to that church. What a pretty little church. I should have gone and done another spring cleaning for them. That would have been a nice video. Yeah. I want to get up north in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, so I'm just manifesting and waiting for the good luck to come in and yeah, get some gas in the car and let's take a trip up north. Yeah, we'll find some beautiful abandons up north. Erin's here too. Oh, hi Erin. Awesome. I didn't get a chance to see your video. I noticed that you did one with your is that your granddaughter? I saw the thumbnail, but I didn't go into watch it, but I'll make a mental note to make sure that I go watch it tonight. And I think you did another one since too cuz you were doing some shout outs too the other night. Or was that Erin? That was Cindy, right? No, that was Cindy from the her channel, outdoor. Oh, what's the name of her channel? I can't remember. Is anybody watching any interesting channels right now? I picked up a couple of more, you know. There is a really good channel I'm watching right now. It's called White. Oh, Sharon's here. Hi, Sharon. Yeah, it takes a while, but everybody starts popping in after a while. Yeah, but it's called White House on the Hill. And it's a family that has, they like to bird, right? So they do chickens and pheasants and peacocks and chickadees. And they have a couple little boys and his wife just had a baby. And yeah, it's really interesting. And actually, I should actually find that channel. And actually, maybe Sharon could find that channel, White House on the Hill, and then just maybe leave the link in my chat there so everybody can check out the channel. I think if you were interested in my channel at all, I think you would just love that White House on the Hill. Yeah, it's such a good channel. Yeah. And Curiosity Incorporated. Now, I hope a lot of my viewers, I know a lot of my viewers are watching his channel, and he's out of Edmonton, right? So he has an antique store, and he does different things. He buys hoarding houses and antique stores and old cars, and yeah, and he has his own antique store, and yeah, and he runs his YouTube channel around it, and it's really interesting. He has a wonderful family too, right? And he makes lots of money. He does some really good deal. He bought a hoarding house for $20,000, and inside the house there was all kinds of famous pottery from a famous potter, and each piece was like a minimum worth $5,000. And he found tons and tons and tons and tons of pieces of famous art gallery pieces that were from famous exhibits and stuff, right? Yeah, Andrew, I thought maybe you might like his channel. That's why I mentioned it. Oh, Sharon just grabbed his channel there. I'm not sure if that was, yes, I think that might be the White House on the Hill channel. Yeah, it's a wonderful channel. They're homesteaders. They're doing a little something like I would like to do. Like I'd like to get that motor home done, right? And I meant to talk to Ray the other day, but he was cranking at me the whole time we were putting the tent back together. Oh boy, did it do a job. It twisted all the bars inside out and everything, but surprisingly we just unsnapped everything and then we just started from brand new and we got it done. But then it turned out we did it inside out. So we had to do it again. And that's when he started getting all cranky at me and stuff. Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, so if anybody wanted to check out the channel that Sharon there, Sharon is S Wolf there. She's a good friend of mine. She lives in San Francisco. Yeah, she's been with my channel for a long, long time. Actually, most of you have been with my channel for a long, long time. Yeah, much appreciated. Much appreciated. I know I've been pivoting a lot. I'm trying to find my place. That's what I'm trying to do. And and yeah, trying to find my passion. Oh, but we were going to talk about lessons, right? This is my grad book. The other day, I just tore my house apart looking for this grad book because again, it had something to do with finding my purpose. I've been just absolutely mad, just trying to find my purpose because I'm figuring everything is supposed to fall into place once I find my purpose. But I think my purpose found me. But in any case, one of the lessons was to who was your favorite teacher, right? And why was this person, he or she, your favorite teacher, right? So let's just have a sip of my coffee. So I couldn't remember the teacher's name. I only had this lady for 1 year. I was a chubby kid in school, in high school. I was probably quite withdrawn at that time. I had my own group of friends, but it was a small group. And because I wasn't doing well in school, I was probably a grade behind most of my friends. So I was in different classes. So it probably secluded me a little bit more, right? So I ended up being the chubby kid, definitely, the last one picked, but I failed PE. I don't know what you call PE in other places. Shoot out if it's different, but PE was like phys ed, right? And this 1 year, I had this one teacher. Now, again, I had to pull out my yearbook, the year I graduated, 1980, and to find this teacher, just kind of hoping. This wasn't the year I had her. It was a couple of years before that, but I kept failing phys ed because it just was not for me. And so, but in any case, if I could quickly find this teacher, here she is right here. And if you should happen to bump into her in the supermarket or anything, if you could tell her this, right? Because this is maybe 40 years later. See this big dot? I made a not nice picture pointing at one of these gym teachers. I guess I didn't like them. I don't remember, but I guess I didn't like them. But they were always pushing me, right? Because in my day in school, you didn't have fat kids, right? In school, like nowadays, all the kids are little chubbies, right? But that's because of they're playing on the computers and they're not getting the exercise and stuff like they should be, right? And of course, and in my day too, we all had two parents, right? Whether they loved each other or not, you had two parents. Nowadays, you're lucky, if you have one parent at home that's actually able to take care of you. Again, this is where another day, that'll be for another conversation once I actually, get into the studying a little bit more and I understand it a little bit more. But in any case, this is the lady right here. Her name was Mrs. Martin. Like, can I just get it up here a little bit? And this is at Windermere Secondary School in 1980. I think I might have had her as a gym teacher in 1978. Now, she would come into the gym room, the dressing room, when the girls were picking on me and stuff, and she would shoo the girls out and she would give them back. And those girls never bothered me that year I had that teacher, right? And she would sit there and she would talk to me and counsel me, right? That year was gymnastics. Every year it was a different thing. It was gymnastics, right? And I really wanted to do the bars, right? Where there's a single high bar and you do flips and stuff like that. But I was a chubby kid, right? And she encouraged me, oh, Cindy, you can do it. You can do it, right? And I actually ended up doing back flips and landings, and I was doing it to music. Like, I was so good at it. That year, I failed PE. Like, the gym teachers, they love to fail me, and I deserve to fail. But that year, she gave me an A. I got an A in PE. Worst subject ever besides science. But she gave me an A. And the reason is because she believed in me, right? She actually took the time to get to know me. She encouraged me. She influenced me. She gave me traits that carried on into my adulthood. And like, how often does somebody get to have somebody say something like that about them, right? And I really, 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 really hope that somebody recognizes this woman, Mrs. Martin from Windermere Secondary. She can't be more than 10 years older than I am. She just can't be. I hope that somebody recognizes her and bumps into her and tells her the wonderful story, how she impacted some woman in Winnipeg as a teenager, because she made me believe in myself. She made me feel like I was worth something, that I was of value, and she imprinted on me well into my adulthood. So that was one of the lessons, right? So I'd like to hear who your favorite teachers are. There's lots of room in the comments, right? Like, go ahead, tell me your story about your favorite. And it's really funny because I only had her that one year. I did not even remember her name. Like I said, I had to go searching for my yearbook to find it. And of all those years, that was my favorite teacher. And that was because she actually took the time to encourage me and to make me feel like I was of value, right? So I really hope that gets back to her somehow. I'm sending good mojo that little story gets back to her, because when you impact somebody, sometimes it's just walking down the street and saying, oh, what a pretty dress, right? And that makes a person's whole day. Nancy's here now. Oh, but Nancy missed the story about the pigeons. Yeah, you're going to have to watch the video, the beginning of my live, Nancy, because that was a really, really incredible thing that happened this past week with the pigeons in my house. Yeah, I had pigeons in my house. It was really strange. So that was one of the things, right? But that was part of the lessons in order for me to find my purpose, right? It didn't really lead me anywheres, right? But things are, coming to me anyway. But there were all kinds of, oh yes, and look at this. This was actually another one here. Like, they said, 5 things that you love about yourself. Do you want to hear the 5 things that I love about myself? Well, you get to hear them anyway, because this is my channel and you got no choice unless you want to leave. Don't leave. Okay. So the one thing I love about myself is my ability to stick up for myself. I'm my biggest protector. Sometimes a little bit overprotective, right? Might get in my way a little bit, but I'm really proud of myself that, that I don't let people traipse on me, and that I use my own mind to make my own decisions. So that's one of the things I really love about myself. Okay, everybody, now you have to say something you love about yourself because I'm reading the comments. And if I have to open up like this, you guys got to open up too, right? Oh, well then I'm glad that you caught this end of it, right? Because yeah, but I'm glad I mentioned the pigeons because you'll find that story quite interesting, Nancy, and you're so smart. Like I know you'll have answers to that one because yeah, you can't tell me that that wasn't a sign. That was for sure. That was just too fluky. Okay. Um Another thing that I love about myself is my ability to forgive. Like I'm so good at just letting things just slide, right? Again, it could be, a weakness at the same time, but I think of it as a strength, right? Because, usually it's the people closest to you that hurt you, right? If they're the closest to you, obviously they didn't mean to hurt you, maybe they did, but they're family, so you just let it slide right over you. So my ability just to let things slide, yeah, I think it's a trait that I absolutely love about myself. My curiosity, oh my god, it might be one of the most amazing things about me as far as I'm concerned. Like my curiosity, like me and the internet, like like I just think this is just the most amazing thing, just to be able to go to Google and just Google anything I want, and Google will just take me off somewheres, right? And you get to learn or experience something just wonderful. I just think the internet is just amazing, especially for somebody like me who's so curious, right? And again, though, it stuffs my head up, right? But you never know. Like, so often when I'm out and about, and I bump into people and we have conversations and stuff, like everybody's so different, right? Everybody has different interests and stuff, but if you like to wood carve or something, and I knew a little bit about wood carving, we could have a conversation, or so you pick up these little bits of information, and then actually when you bump into people who have those interests, that you're actually able to have really interesting conversations, right? So I really love the fact that I have a great sense of curiosity. It's one of my best traits, I think. um I'm also, I don't know if this really counts as something I love about myself, but I definitely appreciate it. And that's the fact that I'm able to experience the past, the present, and the future, right? Right? Because of my abundance and my interest in history and archaeology, and then how I always try to ground myself and live in the moment, like at all times. But now I'm on the internet and I'm doing AI learning and I'm doing spirituality and I'm heading off into the future. Like how incredible is that I'm actually able to kind of experience these three things, right? And then my last one for the fifth one was, you know, I get people, right? You know, my whole life I've always been a spectator in life, right? Not so much a participant. It was later in my adulthood that I actually became more extroverted, still on my own, right? But I was off, busy, outdoors, doing my own thing. But yeah, I was still alone. But at the same time, yeah, I got to go off and meet different people. And yeah, I get people, right? So traits I don't like about myself, I had to say those too. So should we stop and say? Okay, Johnny, my favorite teacher was Mrs. Zornak. She was my English teacher and art teacher. I'm an artist and was working on a residential school drawing, and she saw it and was so impressed. She asked me if I could do a painting for the class. And you're an artist now, Johnny? Johnny, are you an artist now? See, that's exactly what I'm talking about, right? You know how people imprint on you, right? Finding the right people to imprint on you. And that's exactly what I do, right? You know, I'm out there and I'm looking for the right teachers. I'm looking, you know, and you can go out and you can find hundreds and hundreds of teachers on the same subjects, right? So you don't have to go with the same people that say Owen watches or what I watch. Like you go off and you find, you know, the people that inspire you, the people that you want to learn from, you know, like and just learn. And when you find those right people, right, it makes it super enjoyable. Yeah, I would just start to Google, just find something that you're interested in and just Google it and then just start with one video. And then, you know, the way YouTube works is, right, it knows how long you've been watching that video, right? So obviously if you watch that video right to the very end, YouTube is going to assume that you enjoyed that video, right? So when you come back into the YouTube next time and you go into your home page, right, where it says suggested videos, that's YouTube thinking, oh, well, she liked that video or he liked that video. Maybe they might like this video, right? So that way you can just trail off so that you're not so tight in what you're interested in, right? Because the idea is to kind of expand it a little bit, expand your interests a little bit, right? Just don't stay on the one path because there's so much out there. And I don't know why I'm saying this because I just pivot right and left because I get caught up in something new and interesting right now. I'm just ready to flip my channel like totally upside down. And I don't know if I should do that or if I should start a new channel, right? And then just use this channel that maybe I can just say, hey, you know, maybe if you're interested or you like to try this out, maybe you come and check out my channel over here if you find this interesting. I don't know. I'm just trying to work it in because I think this might, because the spiritual thing, right? Like that's important. Like it's gonna change the person that I am. I'm certain of it, right? So how can you make your videos and have that not show in your videos? So I've either got to move it onto another channel or I've got to figure out a way how to make it work with the videos that I put up, right? Because, yeah, the whole idea is I'm thinking that it's important for people. Oh, how do I say this? I'm trying to go somewheres with my channel. I'm trying to turn it into a little business. I'm not doing a very good job, but I'm learning and I figure, something is going to hit sooner or later. Something has just got to hit and I'm going to fall into something amazing and my dreams are going to start to come true. And then I'm going to have all this information to work with that I can actually, work and make it happen. Right. But to me, it's all about nurturing versus nature. Now, I don't know if this is going to make any sense, right? Because I'm just learning this, but I think this is where my purpose is going to get tied into, right? Because a lot of my issues, right, that make it so that I have little difficulties in this industry in social media and be able to reach out. And, if you saw me going to ask permission to do that explore on that homestead and you saw how scared I was, right? So, I have these little childhood issues and those are not natural. Like you're not born to be afraid like that, right? That was instilled in me and that was nurtured into me. Nature is when we're born and we're all the same, right? We all have the same chromosomes, but things change and things imprint on you, right? And yeah, I think that maybe the way I was nurtured, it gave me some not confident traits, and it carried on to when I was an adult. So now I'm thinking as an adult that the only way that I can succeed is if I can get rid of these traits, right? So I'm thinking that if those traits were nurtured into me, can't I nurture other things into me or nurture those out of me, right? So these are the things that I'm studying right now, right? So I'm thinking some of those stoic tendencies that my and qualities that my dad had, and he tried to instill in me and stuff. That maybe if I use some of those, that maybe I could do better and succeed, because I have to do this, and I know I have to do this all by myself, right? And I'm trying to keep a eye on the comments at the same time. And I'm going to go again. I'll go back over everything, after I do my live, just to make sure it's all good. But and that's the thing, Nancy. Yes. Yeah. With me, it was a little bit different. My experiences with teachers were, I don't know. I don't I don't know if I brought something out in those teachers. I don't know how I possibly could. I mean, I was just a kid, right? Like there are no bad kids, right? But I do remember, you know, teachers supporting the bad, like when the bad kids would act up and treat me badly and stuff like that. I knew teachers would kind of go ha 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 and make jokes and kind of join them in the teasing of me, to try and make it so that those kids would kind of give them, those teachers, a little bit more respect. And I did lose quite a bit of respect for teachers, and it wasn't just one teacher that did that to me. There were a few incidences where the teachers would take the sides of the bad kids, just to just as a way to get the kids to listen to them, right? They say, oh, well, I got your back if you got mine, kind of an idea. And that's no way for a teacher to yeah, just those little experiences, yeah, I got things to iron out, and that's what I'm doing. I'm doing a lot of self-discovery right now. That's nice of you to share. And I know, Sharon, if anybody understands, you definitely do, Eh, wait, how I see it, and especially this day, and this is again all tied up to my purpose. I might as well just jar this all out now, and then you guys can give me some ideas, right? If I'm on the right track with this. But oh, where was I going to say? I think I just lost myself already. But we're all responsible, kind of the same idea. We're all responsible for finding our own influencers in our life. We should, I didn't have always great influences in my life. And, I know it's a different age right now, and we do have that opportunity and choices to find people online, and find good influences online. And we can just kind of hope that it's not too late, right? To change bad habits, and they're not necessarily bad habits, but you want to find better habits, right? And yeah, so that's what I've been doing. I've been just trying to work my way through. And again, you got to think too, because if I can do this by myself, right? If through nurturing, right? Because kids are growing up these days with sometimes not even a mother, right? Because the mother's got to work full time. There's nobody at home giving instruction or teaching etiquette in any way to these kids. And these kids are growing up not healthy emotionally, right? So we're going to see this more and more and more, and there's got to be a solution, right? These kids are going to get into drugs, and they're going to get into alcohol, or going to be, grow up to be not nice people, right? So So, and it's not their fault. They just didn't have the right influences in their life, right? But now as you grow up as an adult, as a child, you sometimes don't have any choice but to endure, right? But as an adult, you do have that choices to seek out, a better life, right? So that's what I'm doing. I'm teaching myself to be a better person, and teaching myself to look for opportunities in life. And yeah, I'm actually quite surprised because I'm going pretty I'm going pretty deep on this tonight. Oh, this just was not what I meant. I'm just going to just destroy destroy my YouTube channel. Ah. Find me wherever I am. You guys find me. Yeah, my channel's not going. That's the thing. I'll just pick up people who just like my crazy ideas and my crazy thoughts, and they're just gonna come along for the entertaining journey that I'm gonna have. Yeah, because again, and that just comes from being curious and picking up things and running off, and then not finishing that, and then picking up something else that's curious, right? And then I'm just juggling all these interesting things at the same time. I'm managing pretty good. I hope so, Nancy. I feel so bad that I'm trying just so hard to find my purpose, and I just thought things would just go a little bit smoother, and if I could find my purpose. But a lot of it I do know, like a lot of it I understand. But yeah, how to maneuver to get there, right? So again, I'm just like doing that, follow me, follow me, follow me. Yeah, and that's what I'm doing with my suggested videos, right? I'm just trusting Google has been so good. I went through something a few weeks ago, right? I was feeling really off, and so I just took my little tripod, and I stuck my camera in there, and I just sat it there, and I just said, "Okay, Google, let's talk." And yeah, I made a little video, sent it up there unlisted, and very next morning, there was a video for me. Yeah, Google, the robot. It's computer, like they call them bots, right? But yeah, they read everything and everything. And yeah, there was a suggested video for me. I didn't watch it right away because I don't normally watch these other videos unless they're suggested to me by someone else. But I kept seeing it. And usually if I see Google suggest something to me a couple of days in a row, I know like it's something that I'm supposed to watch. Like, because it never fails when I watch the video. There's something important in that aspect. That's why I always tell like everybody, you gotta get on Google. Like yeah, I'm getting fixed. At least I think I am. And if I'm not, that's okay, because I'm having a good time anyway. Oh, that's nice of you to say, Andrew. I appreciate that. But Owen, yeah, so that's what I was saying. Like Owen, did you know that I was an empath? Like that just absolutely amazes me that for 57 years I could have all those traits, like strongly, like strongly have those traits, and yet be absolutely clueless that there was a term, right? Because if I had come across that term, like I said, if I had come across that term at 10 or 11 years old, it would have explained so much to me. It would have explained so much to me. And then maybe I might have been able to have some fun with it, right? Now at 57 years old, what am I going to do with that quality? It's only beat me down and put me in corners by myself. But that's the thing, right, Sharon? You know, if I just try to be honest and and yes, it's a little embarrassing. Like yeah, like I don't like to tell my personal stuff. Like there's lots of, but as you guys get to know me and as I get more into my channel, right? And the trust builds all between us, we'll just all just open up more and more and I'll let you more into my life and maybe a few of us could set ourselves straight, right? Or even if I could set myself straight and I could just bring everybody along for the ride. I don't know. It's just, I'm just playing it, I love, I love, I love my YouTube channel. It's just probably one of the best things that ever happened to me. I just love my channel. I don't know how other people feel about it. I do hear them say, well, if this doesn't work out and it'll be something new and exciting and I'll be off to that. But yeah, it's for me too, it's a little bit of, I'm comfortable here, right? I'm loyal and I believe that when you're loyal to somebody, then they're loyal to you. And I know Google and YouTube have been very, 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 very good to me. They have been so good to me. Like, yeah, I just wish I could be more value, right? But that's what I'm working on. Sorry, my notifications are still on. Everybody's uploading videos right now. But yes, my I started my manifestation. So on the 2nd, it's all over. And I've been seeing the 111 lot. So I know that's supposed to mean that maybe my messages have been heard about my manifestation. So I'm pretty excited to see if my sister is going to be feeling better. That would be absolutely just amazing if my sister's feeling better. And then I have a couple of special manifests that will just sit in there and stew, right? But yeah, so what we were, oh yes, okay. So do you want to go back into these traits that I don't like about myself? What did I write here? I did this a few days ago. Oh, I am quick to respond to negative energy. I try to I stop myself, right? But it's really hard for me because when I see people lying to me to my face and they're smiling and they're treating me like they care and everything, and I just know that they don't like me, right? And I don't know why they wouldn't like me, but yeah, and I think too, it's because of those reactions that I have. When I sense that, then I don't want them to get off scot-free to think that they're pulling one over my eyes, right? So then I think maybe it's my attitude at that point, and then the second time that they see me, then that's when I get that bad intuition and that bad negativity. Oh, see, I'm just thinking of this now too, right? Yeah, I shouldn't be responding in any way at all. I shouldn't be giving any idea that I have any idea of what they're thinking. Yes, I just thought of that right now. That's really interesting. Another trait that I don't like about myself, which is really strange because I am on YouTube and I'm pretty out there, but one of the traits that I don't like about myself is that I'm afraid to shine. Isn't that sad? I don't know why I wrote that. I'm afraid to shine. I guess somehow deep down that I am afraid to shine, right? And I guess it's a little bit like all of us. We don't want to fall flat on your faces because like I'm just already worried about me talking like this and letting you guys hear a little bit more of what's going on to my head. Like I don't want you guys to think any different of me, right? Because I'm just expanding myself, right? I just want to be a better person, So I want to learn about different cultures and different religions. And, I want to have my own views on things. And how am I supposed to have those unless I actually study them, right? There's nobody teaching me. So if I want to learn, I got to do it myself, right? Well, that's not true. That's not fair to say that there aren't people that are teaching me. Oh my gosh, that was a terrible thing to say because there are so many people out there teaching me. And yeah, and I recently come to realize, there are actually people that are actually rooting for me too. So yeah, I just gotta figure this out. I just gotta stop pivoting. I gotta find that purpose and I've gotta like pack it down and just start working, towards that. I'm just looking at some comments here. Let's just take a break. I got my finger down on the last thing I didn't like, but what was that? I was afraid to shine. Woo! I think I'm a pretty shiny person, but let's see. Oh, Sharon, is that ever beautiful? She says, that's too bad because your smile betrays you every time and you shine despite your fear. Oh, and then she put a little laugh at the end. That's so sweet, Sharon. That's really nice of you to see. My life, I always tried to be optimistic. I think it's how come I've come so far, right? Because I'm always looking to see, what's over the next horizon. Like yeah, things go badly, but that great thing is just over the horizon, right? So I've always lived that way. Yeah, it's a matter about being an optimist. I mean, you can't move forward. Oh, okay, let's go into this too. Forgiveness. Okay, so this is a word that's been popping into my head like crazy, crazy, ever since I got back to from Minneapolis, right? So my one word was a word that my dad used. It was a word, despite. He used to say that to me all the time. Despite, no matter what anybody says, you go off and have the best life you have. Despite you don't have any money, you go off and you find adventures that don't cost anything. It was always a feeling of you have every right to be here as anybody else. He used to say all the time, it takes all kinds to make the world, right? And I believe that true, right? I believe that truly. And where was I? And I've forgotten where my conversation was taking me off. I was going off somewhere else. Oh, forgiveness. Yes. So this word that I had, in spite, when Evan Carmichael was saying, "Oh, everybody has to have a one word," but this word always served me well. It always pushed me to get stuff done. Right? I just say, "Oh, despite it, Cindy, just go do it." If you don't like it, too bad. Just go do it. Right? Despite, go do it. So I figured that was my one word. But to me, every time I said it didn't give me a good feeling, right? It was too much to the word despise, I think, and I kept, every time I heard that word despite, I heard the word despise and it didn't sit well with me, right? So in any way, when I was trying to find my purpose, you have to find your values. And, well, I had my values anyway, but even my values now that I'm finding that I'm changing so much, I find that my values too, like there are more important values to me. And I don't know if you're supposed to be changing your values like that too, but I find that now my values are changing. So anyway, I got stuck. And now I have this idea that what's gotten me stuck is the fact that I haven't been able to forgive the past, right? That I haven't been able to move forward because I'm not able to let the past go. When you think about the past all the time, it imprints on you, right? So as a childhood, I didn't have a very good childhood, early adulthood. I've had ups and downs my whole life. But in any case, it it lost me again. Let's go on to something else. Take a sip of my coffee, look at the comments. You knew that about me, Nancy? I was clueless. Did you know I was clueless? Did you ever think of saying anything to me, Nancy? Did you ever think of saying anything to me? Like when I go and I Google what is an empath, like every single thing that comes up is me to the T, like me to the T. Yeah, I had Oh, Andrew, isn't that a nice way of looking at that? That is a really good way. That's a really good way, Andrew, of looking at that. Oh, everybody, Alice Mensforth. It's her ex-husband. That's my sister Alice. This is the first time Alice has come and visit me on live. Yeah, she's gonna think out to me. Tracy finds out what I'm up to. I'm just gonna get it. Yeah, but that's my sister. That's my sister Alice, my fabulous sister Alice. Yeah, she lives the it girl life. Yeah, she bounces all over the continent. Yeah, she likes to live that life. But everybody, that's my sister Alice. Yeah, so back onto the word forgiveness. So I've chomped onto this word forgiveness because it's so important to be able to forgive yourself, to be able to forgive the past, people who have done bad things. Like you carry all this bad stuff with you, right? And I had a lot of bad stuff and I was just taking it with me, and because of my interest in history and the fact that I like to look back on memories and stuff, and I was just dragging it and I was dwelling on it. And I actually had a session with Lily Mall. She's a partner of Evan Carmichael's, and it was included in my ticket when I went down to Minneapolis. We got to have a 1 hour session. I was so thankful, and I just dumped the minute we started having this session. I just started dumping all this stuff on spirituality on her and everything. And yeah, she just didn't seem phased at all. I just thought she was going to think I was a crazy woman, but she sent me a copy of our Zoom conversation, and my eyeballs are going all like this and everything. And yeah, I just like, holy cow, Cindy, like, yeah, go meditate. I was so wired. Yeah. But Nancy, yeah, which is Yeah, so that's the idea. So I thought, I've been doing the affirmations, they call them, right? And in the morning, like I try to do affirmations of forgiveness and stuff, and I'm thinking that's probably what's been holding me up, is just because I was just so polluted with the sadness and the desperation and the negativity, and I was just dragging that everywhere, and along with all my relationships, like, yeah, now it gets me thinking, did I destroy my marriage? I don't dwell in the past. I never have. I just, it's done. But again, I'm thinking that deep down that I am holding things, right? I'm holding back because of these things that happened to me as a kid, right? So again, this is all a journey of discovery, right? That I'm doing here online. And I'm so happy, because, that I don't have people that I actually trust, that I can sit here and have a conversation with, that actually, I've known all of you and most of you for years now. And I know that you're not going to judge me for this crazy talk that I do. And the thing is, this crazy talk, I believe a lot about it, right? So I just really hope that that you guys all just keep loving me, right? Yeah, and don't judge me or anything, because I'm really interested in this, and anything that's going to make my life easier or more enjoyable or more interesting or more adventurous, like, yeah. Oh, Nancy, view deleted message. Let me go see what Nancy deleted. Oh, okay. Yeah, we can approve that one. I don't know if we can get them back, but Nico, yeah, I saw your one your comment, Nico, on about being able to help your channel. I don't know what's going on with your channel. I mean, if you wanted to, mention it, if it's something I can help, I'm more than happy to help you out. Yes, definitely. I've been doing this for a while now, so, if you want a little bit of help, then yeah, you just let me know what it is, and if I have the answer, I'm happy to shoot it at you. I'm just gonna go back over some of these comments. We have 11 people right now. Alice, are you still here? Yeah, so Alice went to my sister Alice just got back from Mexico. Yeah, every time she goes to Mexico, she gets a tattoo. Yeah. I've never been one for tattoos. I don't mind tattoos. My husband was covered in tattoos. Yeah. I don't mind them, but yeah, not for me. But that's everybody's choice, right? Did everybody notice that I put my Prairie Dodgers up higher, so now my head isn't cutting it off? Did you guys notice that? Oh, and then Nancy, you might have missed that part of the the live too when I was talking about this. Do you know that this means something? I didn't know that when I did this, and I'm the only person in the whole world that knows what's in that envelope. And when we open that, like, yeah, it's going to be freaking people out if it actually came true. Yeah, because supposedly these are magic numbers. Yeah, and I've been seeing these numbers a few times. I think I've seen them 3 times, right? Three times now I've seen them. I can't remember the first time that I saw them, but I remember I saw them once before. Then I saw them once on the bedroom clock, and then once on the monitor I saw it, and then this, right? When I checked the dates on this and I saw it was the 1111. Yeah. Did you guys Google what this means? It's like all these strange things happening in my life, right? Like yeah, so I'm supposed to be watching for signs, right? So Nancy, you know that too? Is that just not the strangest thing? Isn't that the strangest thing? So you know what that means too? I'm gonna have to. I forgot what it means, but I knew it was. I knew it was pretty heavy duty when I Googled it. So yeah, I'm going to after the live. I'll Google it again to see, because I remembered that it had special meaning. It had something to do with your. Oh, it's all crooked. That your guides had heard you. Oh, sorry. That your guides had heard your messages or something that's supposed to mean. I think it meant something like that. I'm not quite sure. But yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, so I've really got to I really check in to see, that I noticed there were a few different meanings in the spiritual world and stuff that you're supposed to be watching out for. So I thought, oh, okay, well, I better Google some more and find out, because I thought that was interesting, right? And especially if that comes true, you couldn't deny that, like that would just say like Google is absolutely just like the smartest thing in the whole world. If they can look through this, they can look through this frame and they can see what's in that envelope, which I very highly doubt. Yeah. Yeah. If they get that right, yeah, for sure that's magic. Do I believe in God, Nico? I'm a spiritual person. I believe that there is something out there growing up, I did do Sunday school. My mother and father, my father was a practitioner. He was always looking for the meaning of life. I know my dad believed in reincarnation. I know he believed in the universe. Um, my dad had very stoic qualities about him, and but when it comes to like church, like being Catholic or Christian or anything, no, I'm not practicing that way. I'm more of a inside spiritual person. I believe that there's definitely a creator out there. There's no question about that. But yeah, whether it's the traditional God, no, I'm not, I don't practice that way. No. But I respect it all religions. I think in the end they are only all one religion in the end anyway, right? Yeah. It's all about culture, right? Making the religion fit for your culture. And but it's very important to have some kind of spirituality. I don't think anybody could possibly grow up with proper etiquette, without some sort of guidelines, right? And that's where you find the church, and you find God, and that kind of sets the terms for etiquette, right? Yes, I know, Owen, that you were, because I remember you saying how much you distasted the swearing, right? And that was my concern, because I know I have a lot of people, spiritual people in my crew, right? And if I were to go off and study, things and cultures and spiritual things that I find interesting and that I resonate with, right? You know, it's about, yeah, just being tolerant of each other and accepting of each other. Again, it's, takes all kinds to make the world. Just reading the comments here. Who are we missing tonight? We're missing quite a few people that we usually have in our lives. Oh, you get it now, eh, Sharon? Yeah, your boss lady, you're going to just start kicking people out right and left. Yeah, I'm just looking at yours, Sharon, too. Not being able to forgive the past is it holds you back. I can see now how it can like impact everything around you. Your relationships, that how you can just pull people down in the misery with you, right? Even at my jobs, I even think, because and actually even in my chatters lives, I mention quite often how I felt like I was a unlucky charm, right? Yeah. So hopefully, I know already, just in the past month, that I'm feeling so much better. Yeah. Yeah. Feeling so much better. Yeah. Who are you following? I forget who you were following. Oh. Evan Carmichael, is that who you were talking about, Nancy? Who I went down to go see in Minneapolis? Yeah, he's got 7 channels going on. He's got a lot of content. I couldn't hope to put that much content out there. And actually, I have so much footage, and just I'm just coming up blank. It's like I have writer's block where I'm trying to, edit my videos and put stories together with my videos. And I was just having a block, and I just said, I haven't gone live in well, since right after I came back from Minneapolis, right? So it's been a month. And I usually at least like to try to go live every couple of weeks. But so I thought tonight maybe I would just go live. I didn't think I was going to open up like that. It's so easy, right? It's so easy when you're staring at a camera just to, and just say it all. But then again, at the same time, you hope that somebody's just going to grab onto something and say, "Oh, Cindy, okay, well, here's the answer to your problem because you do this. Well, here's the answer to your problem." Then, just okay, well, I'll just do that. Okay, I'm fixed. Yeah, but no, I wasn't a religious person growing up or as an adult. Again, it was probably um something I lost, that maybe something I could have grabbed onto, as a teenager or as a young adult. It could have been something that I could have resonated to, but I was such a sad, scared, withdrawn, teenager, that, yeah, it wasn't just not something I was interested in. If I was going to read, it was going to be Nancy Drew books, right? I wasn't going to be anything to enlighten myself, right? And I was actually thinking hypnotherapy would be very good for me. Yes, I was I've actually been looking at some videos and stuff, and I think that would be very helpful to draw out some of that negativity, that negative energy that I have, or at least get some answers as to why I think certain ways, or to pull out some things that maybe I do have to forgive, and I'm just not recalling them right now, right? But yeah, and I'm a very it's funny because I am an extrovert, but I'm an introvert, right? Like I'm such an indrawn person, but I think what it is I naturally an extrovert, but because my self-worth and self-esteem has been so crushed, right? And so stripped that I kind of lost that faith, right? So maybe, as I'm doing this journey, right? I am learning all that. Like I'm not just learning YouTube and again the science stuff that I've been learning, and you know small business that I'm learning, and finding the proper people to learn from. Like it's a lot. And it's a lot, and it's changing me, right? It's changing me. So as long as it's changing me for good, I just want to keep moving forward, even if I'm just a turtle at it. And maybe it will never get me anywhere. Maybe it will just get me the improvements that I need for myself, right? And if it just gives me that, then I'm happy with that. And then I just don't put those extra stresses on myself, right? But again, this is something that I'm just going to have to, I'm just going with the flow of the waves right now, just to see where it leads me, right? So I'm just hoping that it's going to lead me somewheres. I really hope. And if not, all you guys, right? Meeting all you wonderful friends of mine. And I was actually hoping Kathy was going to pop in today, because I sent Kathy her walking stick, and she loved her walking stick. She said she was going to like cherish it forever. So I was kind of hoping she was going to come into her, because I haven't talked to her since she got her stick, right? So I've got one more raw piece of stick here. So trying to decide, who gets the next stick. And in truth, I think, I don't know, Owen, I think maybe you deserve. I think it's a high stick. If you want to let me know how many inches that you need. If you watch that video on how to measure that if you go into my walking stick playlist and go to the video of the hack on how to measure for a walking stick, if you want to do that, Owen, and find your measurement of your walking stick, let me know. I'll get cracking on this next walking stick for you. Yeah, and I hope you like it. There we go. There's the next walk. I don't know when it's going to get done. I'm sure I'll have it done by the end of summer, right? Because I'll be whittling around the campfire and, or sitting in the backyard at my sister's or something. And, I'll just pull it out then and work on it. But yeah, I'd like to give you a stick, Owen. If you would like a walking stick, just give me the word. I'm waiting. Yeah. So I know I've been yapping for a while now. I said I've been an hour and a half. We can go for a little bit more. How many people we got? We got 9 people still going on. Okay, Nico, we're gonna have to let you know that now that you're spamming, that we have to yeah, you can't do that on my channel. Yeah, it's not polite, right? You can't go into other people's channel and ask people to sub to you. Yeah. Yeah, I actually try to go right out of my way to never use that word fine. When people say, "Oh, how are you doing?" Like, yeah, fine. You're not giving the person the time of day, right? When you say something like that, because if they're asking you, maybe they really aren't interested in an answer, but maybe you should teach them a lesson and actually, you know, tell them how you really are feeling and give them 5 minutes of that and next time they'll think about being a little bit more genuine when they ask that question. Oh, Owen. Okay, awesome. That's good. Good, Owen. So let me know how many inches. Remember, your elbow tight to your waist, right? And then your arm at a 45-degree angle, holding a broomstick, right? And then just measure the broomstick from there, and then just let me know what the measurement is, and I'll make you one. Yeah, because I did Kathy. So when Kathy got her stick, she said it was just the perfect height. Yeah. And actually, this is a slimmer stick that I have sitting here that's ready to be carved. And it actually might turn out really nice. I think it's an actual piece of white aspen. So it'll be a very white stick, eh? But I'll take a look at the rack when I go to race and see if there's something there that would be more suitable, right? Yeah, get you a little bit more manly of a stick. I walk, people find me strange, right? Because I quite often I'll just walk down the street and I say hello to people all the time, right? Because when they walk by you, you're meeting contact anyway, unless you're not confident and then you're staring at the ground as you're walking by them, but you really shouldn't be doing that either, right? Because they could be a mugger ready to go for your wallet, right? So, I always try to make eye contact as I pass people, alongside the sidewalks and stuff, right? And it never hurts to say hello to somebody or to give a comment. Yeah, it's something I've always done. Yeah, I know, if I were to buy like a new outfit or a new jacket, and if I were to walk down the street and and somebody said, "Oh, what a nice jacket that is," how good that would make me feel, and would probably make me feel good for the whole day too. And it was just words, right? Yeah, just kind words. Yeah, you never know how far kind words will take you. Yeah, yeah. Oh, and let me know what size stick that you want. That'll be, yeah, just go through my business email, and that way I can get you on my own mailing address, and that way if we ever wanted to talk privately, we can do that, Owen, right? Because we've been friends for a long time now, so I would like you to be into that close group. Yeah. Yeah, because Nancy's in there, Sharon's in there, right? And then maybe one day that we can all go on like on a call, a conference call or something. We can just have like a little get together ourselves, right? Oh, Nancy, thank you so much. Yeah, I really let up some stuff today. Yeah. So maybe I am happy then that actually I got quite a bit because I've been holding that stuff inside of me, like, because I really think about it. And when you don't have people that you can actually talk to, right? And if there was some way that I could tie this all in, and I want you guys to see, what's that? I want you all to see, that I'm doing this wonderful journey and I'm doing good and I'm being successful and I'm working towards that, right? So, so that if it does happen, then truly how hard I worked at it and if it worked for me, then why wouldn't it work for other people? And again, that's back to that conversation, right? The way the kids are growing up these days in a digital age and not having parents and not having discipline and we're not talking beatings and stuff. We're talking, discipline, get your homework done, or we're cutting you off TV. Like kids are just running around. So that there's going to be problems in the generations to come, right? So I'm thinking that as adults, these people are going to have reckonings and they're going to say, oh my gosh, like, can I fix myself, right? Can I pull myself out of this hole that I've dug myself into, just like I've done to myself, right? Like, wow, did I ever do a job? Like that was 100% me. I did that to myself, right? That was my lack of self-worth. And I just, I felt so worthless that I just carried that around everywheres with me, right? So how can you go forward carrying around all that stuff? So yeah, that's where all that forgiveness comes from is that I really need to get rid of all of that. And that's 57 years of stuff. I just need to just let the past go and just let it go and just think of the wonderful future and the wonderful things that are ahead for me, and then just hopefully these things start rolling back on me and the way I think and the way I feel will actually be the way it is. So that's the goal. I know it all sounds good, Owen, and it does, right? Yeah, I love it when Nancy pops in. Yeah, we'll probably end this up right away. But Sharon, also, we need to do a face to face, Sharon, me and you. So I don't know if you do Hangouts or we can do Zoom. If you could just download Zoom. I don't know if you're on the phone or if you're on the computer or if you have a webcam. But I would love to do a face to face and that we can actually have a conversation because there's lots of stuff that like I would like to talk to you about, but we really can't do it this way, right? Oh, okay. Andrew, now that you say this, yesterday I was on Twitter and our mayor, Brian Bowman, he absolutely amazing, right? He has this thing where he's putting on for the kids mayor for the day, where all the kids they get to apply, right, to be mayor for the day. And I thought, wow, what a great influence. What a great way to influence and show kids possibilities for their future, right? When you can do little things like that. Like something like that for me as a kid would have meant so much. It would have meant so much for me to have something like that done for me. Yeah, so yeah, I totally believe in that Andrew. Yeah, you gotta encourage the kids. And I remember, oh, what was the comment there when she said that, you know, uh about the writing the books, how she got the compliments on writing books when she was a kid. That happened to me too, right? I wrote a story like very young, and then actually the teachers and the school district, they had a hold of that story and they circulating it and stuff, and I remember how proud I was, right? And I very easily could have gone into the love and the passion for writing, because I like to write. I'm a bad speller, but nowadays, again, you have Grammarly, right? You there's no reason not to be able to be a good speller. And actually, you don't even need to write. You don't even need to type. You can just do it by voice, right? And just write your book, with voice. Okay, so you got my tomorrow. If you're not doing anything tomorrow, Sharon, yep, I'll be up by 6:30. I don't know if you get up that early, but yeah, definitely. Let's do a face to face ASAP, because I want to talk to you, Sharon. I want to figure out some way that I want to get you up here this summer. I would love to figure out some way to get you up here. If you could come and spend a week or a couple of weeks with me. I know your son has that deal with the airlines and stuff. So if we could figure something out, or if we can, raise some money somehow or something, and get you a ticket out here. Yeah, even if get you a ticket out here, and if we could even do that, say like in September, right? And have you come out here in September, Sharon. And then in October, when I go to Vid Summit, we could drive back, and I can take you home. Like I could drive you home, right? Because I'll be down in Los Angeles, which is pretty close to San Francisco, right? Sharon, I will show you such a great time, Sharon. If you can get your bum here, Sharon, I'm going to take you camping. We're going to go spend time out at Ray's land. I'm going to show you around this province. You will absolutely love it. It would be just as good as any Hawaii vacation or trip to Europe. I will make sure of that. I will make sure of that, Sharon, if you wanted to come and visit me. Yeah. Sharon's one of my very best friends on my channel, and I've made a few really, really, really good friends. But yeah, and me and Sharon, we got that Christmas book. I don't know if I told you, Sharon, but I do have a couple of stories for our Christmas book, right? I know we haven't been working on that. And actually, when I went to Minneapolis, I asked Evan, because that was his idea, right? When you get an idea, you have to act on it, right? and that's what I did, Sharon, is I had this idea to write this book, and so I acted on it, and right away I'm opening up my mouth, and the next thing I know, me and you are writing books, and people are sending me stories and stuff. And I just like, what do I know about books? And I would like to get this book done, Sharon, because yeah, you've lifted me up lots, and it's time for you to get a little something. And I think this just might be something that might be able to make your life better, right? If we can get this book done. So anybody out there who's watching right now, we're just gonna end this in a few more minutes, right? But we are writing a Christmas book, and what it is true Christmas memories as us as kids, right? So we've been having people send me stories. You can just do it through my business email and send me stories, and we're going to be adding them to our book. There won't be any money or anything to be had. I mean, I'm sure I'll share the wealth if it became a #1 bestseller, but I don't expect that our first book will be a #1 bestseller. We're doing this for the experience, right? Sharon is a writer, right? So we're working on at getting Sharon back on track, and turning her into, a great writer. You should see this Christmas story that she sent me. I just can't wait to read it to everybody. It was such a wonderful, heartfelt story. So yes, so that's why I wanted to talk to you, Sharon, was because about that, right? So we want to get cracking on that book, and yeah, I'd like to do face to face. So put in another story into the book. Okay, everybody. I know I have been like diarrhea of the mouth today. I don't know. I guess I had a lot on my chest, and I did it again. I unloaded on my channel, but the good thing is that I'll leave this up. I'll probably leave this up until tomorrow, and then I'll turn it unlisted tomorrow. But I'll leave in my community tab. I'll leave a link to it for anybody who wants to come back and watch it from the beginning, because that pigeon story was an interesting story and so true. 100, cross my fingers, hope to die, a true story. Never had such a thing happen to me in my entire life. It was so crazy. Yeah, those pigeons. I don't know if you heard that story, Sharon. I don't think you did, but if you go to the beginning of my live here and watch the beginning, I was telling the story about I had pigeons fly into my house and how I thought that was a sign, right? A spiritual sign and stuff like that. So go go watch what I was saying about the story. But anyway, I am so tired, everybody. I have been all over the place today. I'm going to do a little bit of house cleaning. I'm going to have a bath, and I'm going to go to the bed and start the week again tomorrow. And I had a great month. I was manifesting. I was doing a 30-day test, and I did absolutely terrific. Yeah, I expect to be breathing on the floor in pain and everything. Yeah, it's been great, and it's been going really good. And so I think what I'll do now is, no, I'm too wired to go meditate right now. I think what I'll do is I'll just do a little bit of housework and see if anybody's uploaded anything interesting for me to watch. But in any case, let's do this. Oh, where is it? If you believe in destiny, if you believe in God, if you believe in luck, or if you just believe in me, this is going to be cool. Have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.